Hey, Seth, Paul, Robert. Hopefully okay. How's everybody else? Okay. Thanks for coming early, like 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Yeah, he plays very well. That's Danny Richmond. He used to play with Charlie Mingus. He's dead now. OD'd. How you doing, George? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Bob. Yeah, well, it wasn't that hot today. Muggy. Okay, so choice again: the jazz patterns with the Morello book, or the fill-ins. Okay, your choice, gentlemen. And there's another person watching, and they're not in the chat. But that's okay. They don't know how to get into the chat. So for those who are not in the chat, all you need to do is you see the video. On the right-hand side of the video, there's the chat. You go on the bottom of the chat. You'll see your picture there, okay? And it says, say something. Jazz, huh? Okay. You know, I'm simply amazed that, I watched a video the other day of a guy demonstrating the Jim Chapin book. The guy did a nice job. He really did. However, the jazz, the right hand, sounded like a march. Watch how it sounds. 1. You hear that on the 2 and 4? It sounds like a march. 1, 2. That's the only thing he did I didn't like. So that's the first thing you need to put in place. Now you're going to see a very similar process here, like we did this in the stick control book. And when I talked to Joe about his book, he said it's just an extension of stick control book. That's all it is. Oh, Jesus. Ding-a-da-boom. The phone don't ring all day. Yeah, I'm not home. I don't want any. I don't need any solar panels. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Nothing. Watch. Nothing. Okay, when you're playing that ride cymbal, I'm thinking in 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Break it down into the levels. Free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. So I get that consistency of the 4 quarter notes. I don't let my hi-hat dictate the sound of my right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Free stroke, down. Free stroke, down. A free stroke. How you doing, Jim? See that? Now I'm thinking triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bam. Now, I'm going to do the first one, and all he's doing is he's substituting, instead of with the right hand, he's doing all the rights with the bass drum. So that would be 1, that'd be 1, Now you have the sheet on that. What is this, Jimmy? Who's Mark? What was the music you said to listen to all about? I don't understand. I like that, Jard. Well, I just sent you two tunes. The John McLaughlin Mahavishnu Orchestra. And these are old tunes, man. These things go back to the 70s. Okay? That was the John McLaughlin Mahavishnu Orchestra. And the, Mark Allman, the same placement in time in the 70s. I just wanted you to listen to an ostinato being played or played off of the drummer taking the solo. Okay? Man, what I listen to, all right, is everything. Whole lot of Miles Davis, whole lot of John Coltrane, Charlie Parker, Chick Corea, Buddy Rich, Joe Morello, Max Roach's bands, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, Elvin Jones, all those guys. The commercial stuff I don't listen to because it does nothing for me artistically. It's just a 2 and 4. Couple unusual hits occasionally. That's about it. I listen to some artistic groove music. Herbie Hancock, Maiden Voyage. How you doing, Hoist? Well, the John McLaughlin Orchestra, first off, the videos that I did send you, the quality's not really that good. But man, to hear these guys, if you have a turntable, you have a record, you put it on a turntable, use headphones, you'd be amazed how that sounds. Does that help you out, Jimmy? I mean, I listen to all kinds of music. But, you know, like Madonna, Lady Gaga, I don't think so. I'll look at them because they're pretty good looking, but I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to their music. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the jazz patterns. All right. Free stroke down. I'm thinking triplets. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play the first one. See, now that hand exercise becomes a pattern. You can make it a jazz pattern. Excuse me. So it makes a lot of things interesting. If you're doing the first one, you got 1 and 2 and. We got that straight, right? Then we did the fill-ins. Now the jazz patterns. I did write it out as between just the bass drum and the snare. Playing against the jazz time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. And you work them slow and stay on it for a period of time. Now, let's go to the fill-ins number 2. Okay? And then we'll do the jazz pattern number 2. All right, now, a lot of these different things, if you're doing them without the fill-ins, the levels are in the same place with doing them straight, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. But when you add the fill-ins, the levels are going to change. For example, number 2 is always giving everybody a lot of difficulty. Not that it was difficult, but it was unusual because you're accustomed to one way. So now you do number 2, 1, and 2, and 4, E, and 1, and 2, and 3, E, and 4, E, and 1, and 2, and. You get that? I guess not. So now when you're doing the fill-ins, if you remember, you had 1 and 2. Now this would have been a downstroke on the original exercise. Now it's not. I mean, a free stroke. You'd have, this is how you start this: 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and. Now remember, the E is coming up. Hello? Anybody gonna talk today? I guess you don't like that. I wanted to do, hey, you know what? Excuse me. Jesus Christ. They must know I'm doing a lesson. Hold on. Jesus. Yeah, so another blank phone call. I just love it. It's every day the same people call. They say press 9 to be removed. I press 9, guess what? Not removed. Now, you talking about Roy Haynes? Roy Haynes, I believe, is what? 92 years old? He's been around forever. Yeah, well, Roy Haynes is a very innovative force in the drumming community, very creative, great player. I caught him live with Chick Corea. That man could just about walk. He's so fragile. But when he got behind the drums, man, he was there. And he can play. Yeah, well, I let it ring, and it's still the same one, Paul. You have a block list. Yeah, well, everybody calls. They want money, especially the police officers, because they got defunded. Okay, Jesus, I hate that disruption. All right, now let's go to number 3, nice and slow, against the jazz time. You have it written out. Hold on. Now, these are simple. Yeah, I know you understand them very well, Paul. Jard, you understand it? Jimmy, Hoist, Seth, Robert. The one, I don't want to do these today. I want to talk about 9/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9/8. Everybody thinks when you play 9/8 you're limited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You want to interject a lot of different feels in there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Make it sound funky. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot of good funk can come out of that. 9/8, 12/8. Well, what I'm doing, and it's funky, I'm incorporating the feel. I lay down, and again, we did the improv yesterday. You know, we did, here's the basic pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Experiment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just improvising, playing anything I'd like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just have a whole lot of fun. Hey, Paul, you mentioned you're having a little difficulty. Yeah, it is. We're going to talk about odd times, Jim. Paul, you asked the other day. You were having some difficulty with the technical difficulty with the fill-ins. You know, it's even nicer, Jim, if I'm going from odd to even. That will make you dizzy. 5, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. It's crazy. We're going to get into that next week one day, okay? Now, you said which one in particular, Paul, were you having any difficulty with? If I know you really didn't work that hard on them. I think that you started them, you got a little stressed out, and you went on to something else. So, Paul, tell me, which ones were giving you a lot of problems? Besides, don't say the word all. All right, you were just asking to review the fill-ins. Anyone in particular? I mean, they're all crazy. You know how, I talked to you yesterday about it, and then Robert came back and said that he had purchased the DW 9000s. And you know how I really play these things? I did go through the whole ritual of playing them on a drum pad and learning them that way. But you know what? Learning these things, memory, and playing them with the feet. Like I sit outside on my front porch, and Seth knows he's been on my front porch. I sit out there, have a cigarette, and while I'm sitting having a cigarette, for example, I'll do, say, line 1. I don't have anything in front of me, but I know line 1 mentally, and that's 50% of the battle. Let me take this off. 1 and, okay? 1 and 2 E and 3 E and I got to get these pedals adjusted. Okay, 1 E and all right, 1 and 2 E and 3, 4 E and 1 and 2 E and E and number 2. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2. See what I'm doing with the bass drums? Jimmy, does your double pedals work okay on the 18? Jar, do you have double bass drums? Paul and I think Hoist, you don't have them, right? No, it won't. Yeah, it will. You have to get. You have. All right, here comes all these questions are coming all over the place. You know, I've had hours and hours of discussions going from odd to even with a few of the players, man. Like, Alan Herman, Mike Clark. Mike Clark says, you're crazy. I don't even count it. I feel it. But, you're not doing a chart that's consistent. For example, 11-8 to 4-4. Let me do it now. This is difficult. You have to understand odd to even. The quarter note is not going to change. The quarter note's going to equal the same. So if I'm counting 11, 1, I'm going 1, 2. That's the first two notes of 11-8. But the bass drum was only on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. The 11 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. It's not easy. 1, 2, 3. It's 4. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. Let's do two measures of 11 first, okay? Here's the tick. Tick, tick. That's my quarter note. 1. Now, that's the quarter note. That equals 2/8 notes no matter what time signature you're in. So I have 11 8. 1, 2. That's two eighth notes. 1, 2. Then 3, 4. That's 4 eighth notes, 2 quarter notes. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. Then it goes back to the 1 every 2 measures. Do you see that? Well, you don't need them. I mean, you can use your hi-hat. Okay, do you understand how to count the 11? The bass drum's on the quarter note. I'm just going to do the bass drum. Now, when I get to the last 11, the quarter note's going to go into the next measure, but it's not going to be on 1. It's going to be on 2. And then it goes every other 1 and goes back to the 1 on the 3rd measure. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. Now, does everybody understand why that's like that? Does everybody know how and why the bass drum, every other measure falls on the 1? That's the question. Let's not talk about double bass. That's my fault. The quarter note, no matter whether you're in Somerville, New Jersey, you're not sure? Okay, Paul. Good. At least you responded. The quarter note equals 2 eighth notes. Without the bass drum, if I did 11, 8 on the hi-hat, just played it on the hi-hat. 1, 2, that's 2 eighth notes. 3, 4, another 2 eighth notes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Back to 1, 2, 3. Now, there's only 11 beats to the measure. Okay, so that's going to be 5 1/2. No, it'd be 11. Yeah, 5 1/2 quarter notes. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I don't go 1, 2. I don't go back to 1 like that, because that'll change the quarter note. When I go 11, the second measure, it's going to fall on the opposite numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do the math. 2 measures of, the even would be the same. You understand that, Robert? How about you, Hoist? Paul, where are you? 1. I'm going to play the quarter note every eighth note. See, if I was playing this, 1, I'm going 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. That's how many eighth notes? 8, right? 1 and 2 and 3 3 and 4. And I go 5 and that would be 10. 11. Okay, now it has to go back to the 1 here. You sure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. Every other measure, it comes back to that 1. You understand it. And it'll drive you crazy. Because now if you make it from odd to even, then there's the problem. There's where the focus and concentration is. You hardly see anybody go from 11/8 to 4/4 or from 5/8 to 3/4. But mathematically, it's all relative. If I have two measures of 11/8, that's 22/16. Okay? If I go 22/16 and divide that to its lowest denominator, what do I have? Do the math. I didn't prepare anything. How did it still lost, Jimmy? You understand it, Paul, Jar, Robert, Hoist? Jimmy's the only one. I don't want to go any further until we understand it all. Everybody understands it. The quarter note, the pulse, is not going to change. If I set the metronome to 100, I don't know what this is going to be. 1, 2. When I go 1, 2 in 11/8, that's 2 eighth notes. 1, 2. Then I go 3, 4. That's 4 eighth notes. 5, 6. 6 eighth notes. 7, 8. 8 eighth notes. 9, 10. 10 eighth notes. 11. Now there's an eighth note missing for the quarter note. So you carry it over to the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2. Here's a good way to excuse me. Just keep counting 11. You're counting through it. You're sitting at your drums like this. Okay? So I'm going to go 1, and then when I go 2, I'm going to hit the heel of the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2. So the second measure, it falls back to the 1. It's not easy. I'm going to write some reading out for that. It would be 5 or 6 beats on the bass drum. What are you talking about, Jimmy? All right, 11, let's go back to the basics. 11/8 equals, 11 beats to a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. That's a measure. So there's 11 eighth notes. The quarter note equals how many eighth notes, Jimmy? Only Jimmy. The eighth note, the quarter note equals how many eighth notes? We're waiting on you, Jim. This is basic math. It's not geometry, algebra, or calculus. Jimmy, how many? I just want Jimmy to answer it. Ay, gabunda. All right. 1, 2. That's one quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2. When I got to that one, I had to go into the next measure to make the quarter note the same. The pulse is the same. Jimmy. Okay, that's all right, Jim. No, I didn't, Jimmy. Here. Look. If I play 4/4 time, for example, 1 and 2 and 4 and I have my bass drum. I'm going to play 4 every quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Now, if I did 2 measures, well, that would be 16. I can't do that. That was 4/4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I do 11. I'm going to count 1, 2. That's 2 eighth notes. The quarter note equals 2 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. I have to make the 2 eighth notes because when I get to 11, it's only 1 eighth note. 11 and I can't go 11 in, then I'm not in 11 8. So it's 11, 1, another eighth note. Here comes the next eighth note, which is 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, back to 1. So every other measure, that bass drum is on the it's still on the downbeat. I did not do it with 6 beats, then on the bass. The bass is giving my quarter note. Not 6 beats, Jimmy. I would be 12. A quarter note. 1, that's a quarter note. 2, that's another quarter note. Now I want to play eighth notes against those 2 quarter notes. 1 and 2 and. Okay, you got that? Now, instead of me counting 1 and 2 and, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the reason why I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 is now I'm in 11, 8. Instead of 1 and 2 and, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1. Oh. It's I did not play on 11. The bass drum was not on 11. Yeah, it's on 11 the first time. Watch, I'm just going to play the bass drum and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now I'm going into a second measure, which is going to be 1. It's an eighth note. That takes the balance of the eighth note against the quarter note. So I have 1, now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. So I did 2 measures. The first measure, they were on every other note. When I got to the second measure, it has to go on every other note, continued off of the 11. You got it? All right, let me go. I'm not going to do it today. We're going to do the Morello book, the drum pad, tonight and on the snare drum, okay? The fill-ins. But I'm just kind of introducing you to odd to even. Well, that was just odd to odd, you know. When you have 2 odds, 11 and 11 is 22 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. Every other measure, it comes back to the 1. You sure? Don't say you just got it because you don't have it and you want everybody to think you have it. You understand it, Paul? Jard? Seth? Okay. Any questions? You don't have to be sorry, Jimmy. That's what everybody's here for. You might catch something really quick, which others don't. Something you don't catch, others do. And it's, you know, it keeps going back and forth like that. The first time I count on 11 is correct. You got it, Paul? Robert? Seth? All right, Paul. Jimmy's got to go not to the timeout chair, but to the principal's office. Only kidding, Jimmy. Absolutely. See how supportive everybody is of you, Jimmy? I wish they were supportive of me when I make the mistakes. Okay, guys, we're going to see you tonight at 7 rather. And maybe we'll continue on. We'll do odd to even. All right, we'll see what happens. That's a nightmare. Because you're just doing the quarter note pulse on 11, and it makes the change to the second measure. There's going to be a big problem going from odd to even, odd to even. But we'll work it out, okay? Just to give you a briefing on it, and then we'll do some real intense work on it come next week. You know, we'll play some 7/8. Okay, we'll see everybody at 7, okay?